Welcome into the Unwritten Rule Podcast, your number one stop shop for all sports and media news. I'm your host, Monzi, and today I will be breaking down, giving you picks from college football week 2 games. Starting off, I want to get into the Arkansas versus Oklahoma State game. Arkansas last week did great. They put up like 70-some points against some school. Hats off to them. Great job. I did like the way that the quarterback looked, and obviously the quarterback is able to run. They got Jaquindon Jackson in the backfield, a transfer from Utah. He's ready to run that ball. They got playmakers on the outside. I didn't really get to see anything from the defense, but I will say this. You having just a somewhat competent offense, a somewhat competent scheme on offense, you are able to compete with any Oklahoma State team that Gundy is coaching. Any. If you just have somewhat of a competent offense, that's all you need to play against Gundy. That's all you need. I promise you. That's all you need. And for them to have Oklahoma State winning by, 8.5 is absurd. Oklahoma State is not that good. Yes, they will string some stuff together. They will perform somewhat good. But it's Oklahoma State. They're ready to lose at any given week. On any given week, at any given day, at any given time. Oklahoma State is ready to lose. The games they win in good fashion. But the games they lose, they were prepared to lose that game. And I think that Arkansas has leverage in this. Now, if Arkansas is not able to, like I said, I did not watch the defense. You didn't need to watch the defense putting up 70 points on the team, obviously. There's got to be some reason you're getting the ball. But nah, I don't like Oklahoma State at all. But like I said, if Arkansas is able to stop the run and play defense, they will win this football game. For the most part, Oklahoma State plays clean football. You don't see them penalized a lot. So that's another thing about Oklahoma State. They're a pretty poised team. They're ready to play, but ready to win, I don't know. They're also ready to lose if they're ready to win. So Arkansas, if they're able to run the ball with that quarterback and that run game's able to get going, and it ever got to a shootout, I would give the shootout to Arkansas. So I do think Arkansas wins this football game. I do think Arkansas covers the plus 8.5, whatever it is. I just like Arkansas in this game. I'm not too high on Gundy yet. I got to see some more out of them. Obviously, they do have Ollie Gordon. He's a great player. He's one of the best running backs in college football right now. I just don't know what you go. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know where you go with this, really, because Alan Bowman, that guy's not it, man. He's been playing college football for almost 8 to 9 years now. He's not the answer. He's not the answer for anything. Yes, he can win Oklahoma State some games for sure, but I don't think he's the answer for what they got to go against with Arkansas. And Arkansas will play football. I think they will play football. They will look better than they did last season. Last season, they looked horrible on all phases of what they got going on. But moving on, next we have the big game right here, which will have big noon kickoff, obviously there. So Fox will be out there for that game. And this is at 11 a.m. this Saturday. So you got Texas versus Michigan on the road. Starting off with Texas. Like what I've seen against Colorado State, obviously it's a Sark offense. Sark is going to look good. But Texas does have holes. You didn't get to see them. But if anybody from Michigan is watching, all you have to do is literally watch out for number 9 or it's number 8 on Texas defense and pick on him all game. The guy is not good. He can't do anything. He won't do anything. All he will do is give up yards. So if you want yards, throw the ball on 9 or throw the ball on 8. One or the other. That's all you needed. Now, as for Michigan, they've been having a lot of problems. I don't know when they'll figure it out. Obviously, with this whole Connor Stallion stuff has really gotten away for them. So we'll see how they favor, but they have no quarterback at all. So if they're able to even win this football game, that would be a surprise to me. But defensively, they have a defense that could smash Texas right in the mouth. And with Quinn Ewers, who was a little shaky at times when it comes to playing in some big games, he starts off a little shaky. If Michigan is able to have a great game plan at the beginning of this football game, they will win the football. And I think that's what Michigan does. Texas, yes, is a high-powered offense. Texas could run up the score. They can put up 100 on Michigan by any means. But I don't think that they are able to do that because Michigan has a defense. And also, they will run the ball in ground and pound against Texas all game. So if they are able to just complete some passes, and Michigan never wows you with anything downfield, they're just throwing crosses across the field or a curl route, praying that somebody misses a tackle so they can run for about 40 to 50 yards down the field. They don't even have to touch the end zone. They're just going to keep running by the time they get to the red zone anyway. Once they get past the 50, it's over. Run game all day. They're guaranteed to get some points. So we'll see how they do, and we'll see how they look in that game. Now, for Texas, if Texas really wants to win this football game, you're going to have to start it off very, very, very good. You got to be good early. You got to be fast early. You got to make Michigan get out in space. But if you keep everything in front of Michigan, you're not going to win this football game. And it's questions with Sharon Moore, as head coach, but he beat Ohio State in his first game. Coaching, obviously, that's not his team. This year it's his team. But Sark, he's able to keep the game within reach at all times. So that's the good thing about Sark. If you ever watch a lot of the games last season from Sark, he was able to keep the games very close. So that's what I like about Sark the most. He's able to keep the games within reach, and also within keeping them in reach, the guys are ready to score at any time offensively. So if your offense is not putting up points, Sark will find a way to score a point. It may be slower than what it usually is, but once that offense gets going for Texas, it's over. And Michigan will not stand a chance. It doesn't matter how good the defense is. If Michigan's defense is getting stops early, and then Sark, and then Michigan's offense isn't putting up points, Sark is going to have a great chance of winning that football game. The amount that he wins by, I don't know, but he'll have a great chance of winning it. So with that being said, I do like Michigan to win this football game. I like Michigan mainly plus 7.5. I just think that, that they'll lose by 3 points, and I think that Texas will start off slow. But I think that the game plan for Michigan will be great. I understand that last week they just wanted to see some things, plus they had to end up going against Texas. They're not going to show everything they got because Michigan's real-life game plan is not that extravagant. It's pretty basic. It's going to be simple. It's going to be some real smash-mouth football. They want to see players from your team make plays. And then defensively for Michigan, they want, their front set. They want their front four, all those guys to be making plays for them. And like I said, they have a great defensive back with Will Johnson. I mean, it's hard, man. It's a hard team to beat. It's a hard team to beat on the road, especially in Ann Arbor, with a loud crowd too. Texas has a loud crowd themselves, so I don't think the crowd will really get to them, but it will get to Quinn Ewers. And this is what a lot of NFL scouts need to be watching is this football game. How does Quinn Ewers start the game off? How is he under pressure? Because, like I said, Sark, a lot of in the games last year, Sark got them out of trouble. So I don't know if he's able to get them out of trouble in this football game because it's a team with a great defense. But Michigan, with Washington last year when Texas lost, they came back, but Washington didn't have a defense. So they were able to string stuff together while Washington's offense had slowed down just a little bit. So it's going to be a weird type of game, but it's going to be probably the best game this Saturday. So we'll see how it is. But like I said, I do like Michigan in this. Moving on, got the Battle of Iowa, if that's what they want to call it. But I got Iowa versus Iowa State. Iowa State, I will say this: offensively, they have a team. They have a team, but they're going against defense that, like, I'm not gonna say the defense is the best defense, but they are going against a top 5 college football defense. And they're not just top 5 this season; they're top 5 previous seasons too. Now, problem with Iowa is they have no offense, so we'll see how that is. Rocco Beck for Iowa State, very good quarterback. No, very good player. Iowa State will also try to run the ball. I don't think running the ball will do anything for him. So Rocco Beck is going to have to go out there and throw for at least 300 yards to give these boys a chance to win. But like I said, Iowa might not give up any points in this football game. So if you like the under, I say you choose the under. This is the perfect timing. I mean, this may be a 13-7 football game right here. It may be a little more different from that. It might be a 21-7. Who knows? But Iowa is very good on defense, and Iowa State in the past couple years has not been themselves. They've competed. I think it's Matt Campbell has tried his best to, groom the team up after Brock Purdy has, left, but they haven't been anything since Purdy left. I don't think that they'll do anything this game. I do like Rocco Beck. He's a good quarterback, but they don't have the defense that I'm looking for right now. But I don't think that Iowa's offense is this groundbreaking offense that's just going to run up the scoreboard on Iowa State's defense. So Iowa State will have chances to score. We'll see, but if Iowa gets a pick, they're going to probably return it a couple of yards and they'll be in good field position. So that might be the only way that Iowa really scores, but we'll see how that is. Moving on, it's Colorado versus Nebraska. Sorry, I got to look at my phone for some of these games. Colorado last week, you played North Dakota State. North Dakota State's a good football team. For the FCS, obviously. They're a team that has won in the past. Now they haven't had a quarterback in the recent years. That's part of the reason why they won all those games. They had Trey Lance, Carson, list goes on, etc. They also had playmakers, Christian Watson. And then I think Trey Lance's brother is now the receiver for the team. So it just with Colorado, their problem simply is it's coaching. It's not the players, it's the coaching. What you're coaching, you want these players to be these superstar talented guys when you should just probably teach these guys, hey, your teammate will handle X, Y, and Z. You just handle W. You know what I mean? You got guys trying to be superheroes that's getting lost and caught up in the moment. They really don't know what they're doing. It's a problem when they have to line up. They don't know what they're doing. And that's part of the coaching. You need to tell these guys they have one job and one job only. Don't try to be Superman. And that's defensively speaking. Now, like I said, coaching is the problem. First play of the game, I watch in North Dakota State has the ball. And what does Colorado run? They run man defense. What's one of the hardest things? One of the hardest things in man defense is guarding crossers, obviously, because you could rub against each other. So anything that has a crossing type of concept is going to be hard to guard. So why would you go out there first play of the game and run that? Why not just be in a cover 2 zone or a cover 3 zone? Why not? But you go out there and do that. And then you give up what? I think they gave up like 40, 50 yards the first play of the game. They were off from the get-go. And if you thought that they were ready and locked and loaded, you guys got to stop believing all this hype that social media provides for y'all. Deion hasn't done anything in years. Like I said, he lost it. He was losing when he was at Jackson State to what? Some crazy school, North Carolina A&T or North Carolina State, whatever the team was. They were losing to them in that bowl game. They lost 2 years straight. Deion didn't win a bowl game for Jackson State. So, in case you didn't know that, now you know. Yeah, didn't win one bowl game at Jackson State, but gets a great job at Colorado. What's that sound like? But Deion's a Hall of Fame player. I expect his team to have, better coaching in general. It's too much NFL talent on that coaching staff for them to be that sorry. Pat Shurmur, you ain't got no excuse for the offense to be looking sloppy. No excuse. You could have cooked them boys all day with Jimmy Horn Jr. That boy, nobody could hold him. He's too fast. Nobody could hold him. I don't want to hear it. Like, he's so fast, they already couldn't tackle Travis Hunter. Imagine trying to chase Jimmy Horn Jr. You got to use your weapons. We understand Travis is your player, your best player on the team, maybe. But, nah, come on, man. You guys were weak. You guys were weak up front defensively. You guys couldn't really run the ball. It just was off. The whole game plan was off. Like, that game plan just welcomed an upset. Like, it literally just welcomed the upset. And I don't know why Deion doesn't make any adjustments in the game. They go out there after halftime, and they're still doing the same shit. They don't get it. And somebody needs to start saying, Deion, we don't get it. We don't get it with you. We don't know what you want to do. It's all questionable with you, Deion. All of it's questionable. We understand your son's good. Your son at safety, he ain't good. He's good at making an open field tackle, though. But you can't tell me that you ain't got nobody better than that as a backup. And then the weakest group on the field is, what's crazy is, it's the secondary. The Hall of Fame cornerback, Hall of Fame in college football, Hall of Fame in professional football. The worst things for him is his secondary. I wonder why. Stop rolling the camera everywhere you go and actually start coaching. These boys don't even look close to you couldn't tell me that you thought that any of those players in that secondary, aside from Travis Hunter, I will say that. You can't tell me that any of those boys in that secondary, aside from Travis Hunter, were coached by Deion Sanders. You could not tell me that. It's only one that looks like he's coached by Deion Sanders. And that boy is naturally talented on both sides of the ball. And still, in moments of that game, he was over there getting bullied on blocks. Yeah, they called some holding calls on the offense, but still, Travis Hunter was getting yammed up by some FCS guy. They're going against Nebraska. Now, I don't think Nebraska is this great team, but they do have to deal with the crowd. They're going to have to deal with what happened to them last week. That's going to be on their minds. That's still on Deion's mind. How they came out there last week. The boys didn't come out there trying to play football for real at all. Luckily, they won the game. They should have lost. I don't know what I don't know what North Dakota State did. I don't know what quarterback situation happened towards the end of the game where they took out 7. But if you roll out the pocket and run down, that's all the boy had to do. Number 7 just had to roll out the pocket, extend the plays. If you got to throw it. But we really want you to run first. And that's what he was doing. Anytime you need to pick up yards against Colorado, you're guaranteed to pick up about 10. And that don't matter if it's running or passing. They're not ready at all. And I don't know when they'll be ready, but they have to be ready with some adjustments first. The coaches need to have a sit down first. It's not the players, it's the coaching. There's no reason why the fastest player on your football team, Jimmy Horn Jr., doesn't get the ball. You only seen him get the ball, twice? Like, there's no reason. They couldn't hold him the first time, which makes you think they can hold him the second time, Deion. But this is what I'm saying. Yes, You may not be the offensive coordinator, but you're the head coach. You have to be saying some stuff that you like to see, Dion. And Pat Shurmur, like I said, Pat Shurmur, you coached the Giants. You were the head coach. What the hell are you doing? Awesome plays. Be efficient. Like the drop off in that was absurd. I don't understand what that is. Like the drop off in that was absurd. I don't know when Colorado will figure it out. But I've said this before in previous episodes. Colorado is not the team that should be worried about win. They need to learn how to play like a team first. And what goes into a team? The training staff, the player development, how the teammate chemistry is, how the coaching chemistry is with the players, how the coaches' chemistry is with each other as fellow coaches on a staff. They don't have that together. They have that they have the image together. Yes. Yes, Colorado has the image together. Dion has that together 100%. You can tune in on YouTube right now. Watch them. They got the image. They got the image. But they don't have the heart. They're not playing that on the field. If they put that same effort that they do with the media and, bragging, boasting, and on social media, calling people sorry, whatever they want. If they do that on the football field, if they're able to let their play talk, actually let their play talk, I'll have some belief in them. I'm not having no belief in them boys. Y'all can try to believe them at any time. And if they do end up beating Nebraska, hats off to them. Nebraska got a true freshman at quarterback. And I don't think no Dylan Raiola is no Patrick Mahomes, no matter how much he wants to copycat him. I don't think that he's Patrick Mahomes at all. You can copy the jersey number, the sleeves, however you want to dress. It doesn't matter. I don't think you're Patrick Mahomes, but they can think that he is. And I do think that he will be a good quarterback going down the line. But right now, as a true freshman, come on now. Y'all hyping the boy up too. But Michigan with Matt Rule will simply outcoach Deion Sanders. And I think Matt Rule is waiting to outcoach Deion Sanders. This is the type of shit Matt Rule likes. He likes a little drama. He wants to be the one to shut Deion up. This is what's going to hurt him. What happened to Bill O'Brien? He's the one to shut down the whole Florida State program. No college football. Ain't no college football playoff chance after that. And I would not be surprised if Matt Rule coaches up a great game, has a great game plan, and just keeps the game simple for his quarterback. Because what extravagant plays do you need to run against Colorado at this point? Let's be honest. What extravagant plays do you need to run against Colorado? You don't have to run nothing. You can run the same plays. You can copy the same playbook from North Dakota State, and you can go out there and still win that football game. They don't make adjustments. They don't make any adjustments. Nebraska will have a cakewalk. They got Nebraska projected to win by 7.5. Now, I don't know why they have it at that. I thought it would be a little closer than that. But, I mean, if you really sit down and look at it, I mean, does it sound absurd? Deion does not know how to make adjustments. His team does not know how to make adjustments, and his boys are not physical. They're not smash mouth football tough. Them boys is all hype. And I don't think Matt Rule, he's not coaching that. He's been there, done that before. And taking Matt Rule to the NFL, he probably learned some better philosophies, especially after losing. But they're not ready. And they're not ready to go to Lincoln, Nebraska and play that football game. They're not ready. And I don't know when they'll be ready, like I said, but they're not ready. Dylan Raiola, he may have a nice day. I'm not going to say he's going to put on that performance that he put on recently with the sidearm throws and all that. I don't think he's going to do all that. I just think that Nebraska is able to string together some stops and score some simple touchdowns. And, they might get some passes down the field, but I think it's going to be a pretty simple football game on both sides of the ball for Nebraska. you really don't have to do too much. You don't have to reach into the bag of tricks and pull those out. Like, just beat Dion up on what you know that they're weak at. And obviously they're weak on defense. You can just call whatever you want on that in that aspect. Now you do have to prepare for their offense. I don't know if Pat Shurmur will start trying to have Shedeur air more passes out down the field, but I don't know how good Nebraska's front seven is. Front seven is quite yet, so we'll see. And I don't know if they rush 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen. I believe it's 4 down linemen is what Matt Rule has always been rushing in college football. But Nebraska's going to fight no matter what. All game, they're going to fight. It's a Matt Rule coach team. When he was coaching at Baylor, they fought all game. Don't matter. And Matt Rule, he's janky. He'll get desperate. He'll pull it all out. He'll get desperate. He'll pull it all out on you. So we'll see what the Colorado can do against them. I like Nebraska to win the game. I like Nebraska to cover the 7.5. And if you could buy 1 point, 1 whole point, and get it at 6.5, I'll take it for Nebraska at home because Dion cannot make adjustments. If Dion was able to make adjustments, I think they'll have Colorado winning by 3. I think Vegas will actually do that, but Dion's not able to make any adjustments. That's his problem in this football game. And that's going to be his problem down the road, too, this season. But it is week 1. Well, it's week 2 now, but it was week 1. You just got to build off of it, and we'll see what you can do. But I'm not counting Colorado out, and I'm not saying that Nebraska is this, high glory team. I think that it's pretty easy to beat Colorado, and that goes for any team that's higher than an FCS school. I think it's pretty easy. I think Vanderbilt can mess around and beat Colorado. Like, they're not that great. Kentucky can mess around and beat Colorado. Colorado can beat Florida State, though. But that's all for me, folks. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Unwritten Rule podcast. We will be having some NFL content dropping. Me and my co-host Weavy, we will be getting together and dropping some content on that. Also, check out the TikTok. We drop our check out the TikTok and the Instagram pages actually, because we drop picks on there, player props, regular game props, team totals, whatever you like. But we drop all that. We are thinking about making a Patreon, so that way you guys can subscribe to the Patreon for a small amount, like $2. Have access to all the picks that we have. And that's all from me, folks. I appreciate you.